Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, today in this session we would be talking on corporate PR, that is corporate public relations. You know that public relation is a planned, deliberate and sustained effort to establish a relationship between the organization and its public. So we have discussed a lot about PR in our future sessions. Today specifically we are going to study what corporate PR is. We would be discussing why there is a need of a corporate PR. What is the role of corporate social responsibility of a company towards the employees as well as towards the society. So we would be discussing major issues under the topic corporate PR, and for this discussion we have once again with us in our studios Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar. Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar is a dean in one of the reputed institution in the country. I would like to tell you all that she with the help of these live EduSet lectures keep on delivering lectures in form of motivation. Her motivational lectures definitely help us out in understanding the topics in detail as well as helps in building our personality. So I believe that this session would be very fruitful to you. Let's welcome our guest Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar. Mrs. Bhatnagar, welcome to the EduSet lecture.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy that you thought of doing a lecture on corporate PR. Corporate PR is a misnomer term all over. People talk so much about it, but I wonder how many people know exactly what corporate PR is. Corporate PR is to project the image or create a positive or negative, whatever it is, an image about an organization in the minds of people at large, customers, traders, anybody and everybody connected with the organization in one way or the other. Now, how do we do it? You all know that there are certain organizations, we believe in them. We know that any product coming out of them or anything, we say, oh, that organization very good. How do we know they are very good or very bad? Take the case of one of the leading companies, maybe you call it Nestle or Philips or any of these known brand names. Or talk about Reliance. How do you know that they are good companies and they are very good paymasters, they are very good employers? Or you say, oh, this product coming out of Reliance has to be good. Oh, this Philips is a name, so anything that Philips takes out is to be a good thing. Now, how do we start thinking about it? Is it normal or somebody is playing a game behind it? Now, I would like to tell you that corporate image is sold. It is sold with great caution, and it's a science how we work it out. Everybody, any company needs to project itself, and this projection, building out a reputation, is called corporate image building process or corporate public relations. So if you understand what corporate public relations in few words, it is actually projecting out a certain reputation, building a reputation of your own in the busy competitive market. More competition, more firms coming up, more industry developing, more products coming into the market, more is the scope of corporate PR. And corporate PR is no more just a science or a study, it has become a necessity. Sometimes I feel that if we go to the past and we go to the original part of our lives, don't we do some sort of corporate PR for our families, for our households? You know, we try to talk to people, oh, so-and-so is a good family. They are very nice family. Oh, they are very well-known family. How do we know they are very well-known family? Why do we keep harping about them? Why don't we talk about somebody else as a good corporate family? It does make a difference how you start. Initial stages, our grandfathers, our mothers, our relations, when they lived together, they all were projected as one family. They would tell the children, do not go and talk outside anything bad about the house. Don't talk anything bad about yourself. So you have to keep them satisfied, give them good upbringing, give them good education, and ultimately what were we doing? They would go out and say, oh, I belong to so-and-so. My father is so-and-so. My family is like this. I belong to so-and-so's family. So a sort of corporate PR was going on all the time, either at family stage or whenever the human beings wanted it. How do we know Hitler was a bad man? How do we know that? But it is the projection, it's the reputation which got built up over the years. Now, today we are going to talk about how do we project, how do we work on corporate PR. Corporate PR is a well thought of objective to be drawn, to be achieved by the PR people of the company. The companies has to tell exactly what do they want to achieve, who are their who are their audience, who are their people, and accordingly they build with them a reputation. They go on. So there are two types of people which need to be tackled in PR. One are called internal public and other are called external public. Who are internal public? Let me define for you. Internal public are your employees, your own people. They are the first charge of corporate image building. You know, unless you satisfy them, unless you give them good conditions of work, unless you look after them well, their minor comforts, their medicals, their families, their terms and conditions of working, and you make them satisfied in the job which they are doing, they are sure to go and say, oh, my organization is terrible. I'm just working because I need to work, but it's not very good. And this will harm or give a dent to the reputation of the company. Whereas the other way around, if your employees are satisfied, happy, they are looked after, they know how their working conditions are good, they know that their people are looking after them well, etc., then they are always going to say, oh, I work for a very good company. We have this benefit, we have this benefit. They look after our families, they look after our medical, and this spreads the word. Others say, oh God, that company is a very good company. Then we have the second part of corporate PR, that we have to tackle the external public. Who are external public? External public are many. Your customers, your traders, your stockholders, your company's guests, the people you deal with on day-to-day basis or even otherwise, they're all your external public. So that means you have to give an image in their minds also that you are a fair company, your deals are fair, your product is clean, your product has no golmaal about it, and not only that you can trust. So building a trust, which is very important, all trusts lead to reputations. If you build a good trust with people, you build a good reputation with people. Now, unless you build a good trust, people will not call you a good person at all. So the companies, when as a whole, a corporation or a company tries to work on building trust amongst its external and internal public, we call it building corporate PR. Corporate PR is when we are trying to sell the whole corporation, the whole company to the people, to its audience in a manner that we want them to have projection in their mind. Now, if I take you to a little bit on the other side of how do we do it? It's very nice saying that reputations should be built. All companies want their reputations to be built. But how do we do it? How do we do it? It's very difficult. Actually, first thing about corporate PR, what are the elements? Corporate PR is never built in a day. You can't employ a person and tell him you are the corporate manager and I want you to do this projection by 2 months or 3 months. There cannot be a time limit at all. So all you have to do is, it is a very slow process to make someone believe or make someone's mind turn towards you positively or negatively. It requires time. It takes a lot of time. So corporate PR is built very, very gradually. Slowly, gradually, very, very slowly, we take the company to a reputation. And what do we say when we take this slow process? We have to go into the company's product. What are the plus points of the product? How the product is going to affect the public as a whole. Is it only a profit-making product or is it for the public benefit also? Then we talk about company's policies. Are these policies very selfish? The entire profit the owners take away, or they decide to give a bit of the profit to the public interest? Do they spend some money on the social welfare? Do they spend some money on part of their profit they share with some sort of economic activity which the government is sponsoring or which a social welfare organization is sponsoring? So lots of things have to be taken into account. So the first step is learn maximum possible. Gain knowledge. Unless you gain knowledge about the company's policies, to build a reputation becomes impossible. So for corporate PR, the first thing is to bring out all the negative as well as positive points about your company. Then play with your positivity, add on to some methodologies and proceed for your goal, which is called building a reputation, an image, a positive image for your company. Now, this is a very gradual process, very slowly, you try to turn the minds of the people by throwing before them the positivity about your company. No corporate PRs can be built if you have only negative points, and there is nothing called positive about your company. You are a very selfish person, your company is totally selfish, they believe in nothing but profit making, and still they want to be projected as one of the best corporate companies. Not possible at all, because corporate PR is based on truth, facts, positivity, and is a slow going process. Gradually you have to make people believe we are good people, we look for the country, we are doing something nice, etc., etc. Now, one more thing I like to tell you, a little example that might make things clear to you. Take the case of one of the companies which has, for every product you buy from them, they give a certain amount. You say that certain amount of that sale goes for the education of children. I'm not naming the company, consciously, but there is an ad going on that every product you buy, a certain amount goes for the education of children. They open schools, they contribute to the rural education or to the education for the economically weaker section. So an image has been created gradually over the years that yes, if I'm buying this product, I'm also doing some sort of social work because my money is also being shared. This company is not hooking up the entire company as its profit. It is giving a portion of it for education, which is very necessary for this country. Take the case of Swachhata Abhiyan, which is the new process coming in. Lots of companies have started taking it as their own project. They say, okay, we adopt a village, we adopt an area, and we will see that in this area, we will maintain absolutely cleanliness. We will not allow. If the drainage is required, we will do it. If the children need to be taught, we will teach them. If the women need to be told that they cannot spill kachra, we will teach them. Now, this shows a corporate activity and a corporate social responsibility the company has taken on itself. Now, this is going to be a very major point for a company to project itself as a corporate PR company. A industry where we say, no, they are good industry. They work so much. Now, long time back, you take the case of Tatas. Tatas used to open hospitals. They were doing research work. They were doing education work. And even if you name one of the best cancer hospitals in Bombay, it belongs to Tatas. Now, why should Tata indulge into such activities? These hospitals are not meant for their own employees at all. They're meant for public. Why should they do it? Why should they spend all their money on that? This is what we call creating an image, because people know there is somebody called Tata. There is a company called Tata. And if tomorrow we have something to do with a company called Tata or their product or something to do with getting employment there, they will jump about it. They'll say, oh God, it's Tata's. Tata mein main kaam karta hu, the pride. And this is how it grows gradually. There is something which is very, very effectively dangerous in corporate PR. You know, sometimes a crisis happens or some accident happens, something happens. It could be from nature, it could be man-made. You know, there are very big companies where things are going very normally, they are doing good job, their image is excellent, their reputation is excellent, but something happens, a leak happens, a gas leak happens, or something gets burst up, and a number of people die. Immediately the company's reputation goes down like this. We say that corporate PR is built gradually as a angle, but the image or the reputation falls down in one stroke. You have seen this very often. Indian Airlines, all other airlines, they fly very well. Thousands of people fly every day. And we all know they're doing very good job of transporting people from one end to the other. One air crash, and you see how people say, bekar hai, they don't know how to fly, they have bad engineers, their aircrafts are bad, everything is bad. Everything goes bad. So reputations are built over years, very gradually, slowly. Corporate PR is a difficult task to carry out. But corporate PR falls down immediately to the dash down to the ground, and again gradually you pick it up and start building back your reputation. So corporate PR in today's world has become a necessity for all industry, all companies, all educational institutions, all social welfare institutions, and that is the reason there is a lot of career base in this industry. Like you do your corporate PR course and you find that there are tons of jobs waiting for you. Every company needs somebody who knows how to build in their corporate, what you call, reputation, how the image is built up. Now with this sort of thing going on, we have something to tell you about how do we work on corporate PR. What are the needs for a boy or a girl who's looking to do corporate PR, and what should he do? Number one, a corporate PR gentleman has to be very communicative, very social. When I say communicative, he or she should have no inhibitions about herself. He or she should be a person who should be able to mix up with most ordinary people. He should be able to mix up with the employees at the lowest level. He should be able to mix up with the union people, and he should also be able to mix up at the topmost people, whether they are in the government, whether they are in private sector, whether they are the foreigners, anybody. So only a very communicative person, a person with lots and lots of communication, oral communication, written communication, and now you require is, with social media coming in, lot of computer knowledge, lot of knowledge of social media can be a good corporate PR. Number two, a corporate PR gentleman should be a knowledgeable person, should be able to know what is happening around the world, what is happening all around, all over the place. It's not just this that you sit tight in your nice AC room and you are a big manager of PR and you are doing corporate PR for the company. No, you have to learn, you have to mix, you have to be roaming about, you have to be gaining knowledge all over, and it is through this sort of thing that you gain knowledge not only by books, by meeting people, finding out what is happening in the counter world, what is happening in your own competitors, what is happening in the industry which you are handling, not only in your own state but also in your whole country and even abroad. So knowledge is the second thing. You should also be a very good reader and should be able to get knowledge. And the third thing which is very important is that a corporate PR person should be very cool and should be very understanding, because there are people you will meet who will not only talk positive about your company, despite best of your offer or explanations, they will talk anything and everything they desire to talk about the company. You should be a good listener. You should be able to be a person who should maintain the positive image or even listen to the negative side of it and then try to correct it out. Well, These are the things a person who needs to be in corporate world requires to do. Now I'm going to take the whole lecture into a third area. The third area is what we call social responsibility. Social responsibility is a very important thing in today's world, and I think it is not in today's world, but in a good industry, in a good corporate house, they should be very conscious about their social responsibility. What is social responsibility? Social responsibility is when you, despite doing your own work, decide to do something for the economy of the country, decide to do something for the people of the company, decide to make some better arrangements for your own employees, not only while they are in the company but outside the company. Like if you are got an industry and the area is not developed, maybe you try to spend some money developing the roads, developing the area, providing some housing schemes there, providing some shopping center there. Maybe you ensure that transport facilities are added there. If the train service is not there, you may start talking about trains and might convince the government that we require a train line to connect you. So these are called social angles. Very few companies earlier used to think about social angles. They thought that everything has to be done by the government because they were paying their taxes and the government is responsible to do all these jobs. There was a hardcore line between the government to do things and the industry to do things. But gradually this line is becoming thinner and thinner. Industry has to realize its responsibilities, and this is what we call corporate social responsibility. No image can be built unless you are involved in corporate social responsibility. Now, corporate social responsibility is something where we need to think about what can I do, what can I contribute, keeping in mind whatever I am doing and not harming my own industry, not adding on to something, but can I do something for the society? Can I do something more? My employees are there, but can I do something for their children? Can I build a school around? Can I do something for the women? Can we not start some sort of industry, a home industry or a handicraft industry, where this woman can earn better living and the standard of the workers goes up? Can we not do something more than that? Have medical services extended, have a hospital there? Now, these are all thoughts. If you think about it, many of the industries feel, why should we do it? We got a license to run an industry, we are running it, we are producing and we are selling it in the market. This is one way of thinking. The other way of thinking is, well, whatever we are producing, we are making a little bit of profit. The country requires, the people require that we return something back to them in form of a goodwill. Now, corporate social responsibility is something which adds to the corporate PR in a great way. If you are doing corporate social responsibility, you can invite the top people of the country to come and, visit your industry, visit those corporate activities that you are doing. That means you get the advantage of media. If a top man comes, if a minister comes to inaugurate or to look into what you are doing, then obviously you get a lot of free press publicity, which otherwise you have to pay very. Now this brings us to the next step, that not only corporate, social responsibility, we require press, that is the media, to spread the corporate PR. The PR man who is doing the corporate PR has to maintain an excellent relation with the media people. Now, media people can spread your message to a great extent. How do we do it? How do we put our top people on the media? It's a very interesting way of doing it. Like, you should hold seminars, you should hold conferences, not only on subject of your own industry, but on other subjects, social issues, on the concern issues, things that are troubling the country, things that are troubling the people, things that can solve the problems of the people. Now, when you create forums like this, then the media becomes friendly with you. You have to make friends with the media people so that your own image indirectly is spread. Once you are on the media, 5 times your industry's name is on the media, somebody writes an article about you in the media, somebody writes a news about you, what happens is you become popular and your image, positive image, goes up. So media relations is another important side. We talked about corporate social responsibility, we talked about good relations with the people, we talked about sending positive messages, we talked about truth, we talked about product spreading. Now we're going to talk about something else that is called employees relations. How do we develop our employees within our own industry? Now, employees generally we think, theek hai, we are giving them good salary, they are having good work, they are happy, they come work, go back home. No, they have some other side in them that is called a growth, a development. They need to be totally developed, and for that you should have clubs for employees, like you can have a social evening for employees, you can hold functions, you can have an interaction with employees, with the senior people. That a trust, that employees feel, my God, they look after me so well. My God, we are made to do dramas on puja days, we are made to do this. We can go into what we call sports, we can go into the cultural, economic field, then you should sponsor them for training. Now these are the things which create a positive relationship with employees. And when your employees have a positive thinking about you, then it is easier for the corporate image building. Because if a house person talks about you as a good thing, then you know it is believed more often than if an article is written in a newspaper or something. Another thing that adds to the corporate image is publications. You do publications, brochures, booklets, and things like that. So you take out good publications, magazines, and all these publications should be in a language which is for internal people, some language which is for external people. Now this sort of activity, again the person who is dealing with corporate PR or corporate image building has to bring out. He has to bring out from time to time articles, booklets, pamphlets, he has to publish things, he has to send people for training. All these things add on together, create a positivity, not only internally but externally also. Now, with this sort of positivity, can we talk a little bit further on corporate PR? By now you must have understood that all corporations, all industries need to have a positive image, a reputation. More reputation, better is the marketing, better the product sells in the market. A reputed product you always buy. You don't want to buy a product which is a roadside product or which you have never heard of. Even if you go to a medicine shop, the medicine known from known company is more required by you. You would rather pay a rupee extra than buy a medicine which belongs to a company you have never heard of. So image, corporate image is one thing which has become a necessity for today's industrial houses. Can we take a break? Thank you. So friends, we were talking about publications. We said that good magazine which should have a balanced pictures about the organization should be sent to various people. Now we're going to talk about something else that is called government relations. It's very important that for building a corporate PR, you should build good relations with the government of the place. Whatever be the government, the officers concerned, you should participate in their programs. Not only participate in their programs, you should have good relations with them. You should go and talk to them. You should visit them, explain to them what are you doing. Also tell them about the corporate things that you are doing. You should also tell them about social responsibilities that you are carrying out. Send to them the magazine and the booklets and the publications your company has. Invite them for meetings often so that you can get ideas out of them, or attend their meetings to get what is their next move, what social welfare work they are doing, so that you can accordingly adopt it in your own company. Now, one more thing, the last thing that I like to discuss out here, and which is very important, which I feel requires lots and lots of work for corporate PR person, or when you are building your corporate image. It is called a trust building amongst your own people. No secrecies. Of course, when I say no secrecy, I am not meaning that you should come out with companies' secret formulas or something. But sometimes, the junior people have a distrust. They don't know what is happening at the top level. They don't know what is transpiring in the meetings. They know that whole day the seniors are in meetings and they come in and out, they go here and there, creating a sort of a fear psychosis or a sort of gossip mongering among the juniors. It is necessary that the juniors should be interacted with often. And how do we interact with juniors? The head of the departments should call them over a cup of tea, talk to them sometimes, make them feel that they are also part and parcel of the organization. Give them the importance which only seniors get. Let everybody, even at the lowest level, feel that they are part and parcel of the organization. Without them, the organization cannot work. Unless they feel that sense of belonging, they will never be a good speaker. And we may need maximum mouthpieces to speak about the company for creating a corporate image. Not only with the employees, but also the families of the employees. Now, looking after families, or when an employee goes back home and he looks happy and his family is happy and he has enough money to take his family out, look after his family, he has a comfortable house to stay, knows that if his child is sick, he can go to a hospital, he knows that there is a school around where his child can be admitted, he has no mental tortures going on in the house. Then you find even the women of the house, those people who are not employed with you but who are associated with the employees, speak very high about it. Like in social functions, they say, oh, my husband works for that company. They are very proud about it. They take the name of the corporation in a big, pride way. They say, oh God, they look after us like this. Not only my husband, but they look after the family. We have medical benefit, we have this, we have that, we do this. So the idea is that you don't have to spend money on publicizing your activities, publicizing your corporate image. You need to create more mouths. You have to create more people who can speak about you. There is no way which is better than spreading a message mouth to mouth. If I speak in a social function good about where I work, then those 10 people speak good about me into various, we know that place is good. How the image keeps spreading from one person to the other and going into a higher level. So please remember, this may be the last portion that I want to impress upon, but I can tell you one thing, that mouth-to-mouth publicity is something which is the best publicity in corporate image building. Sometimes the senior people are so involved in their own activities, maybe they are not involved, they pretend to be involved, that they forget about the people down below the line, the juniors. I feel that time has come when the pyramid has to be upside down. The people down below play a much more part because there are too many numbers than people at the top level. On the top level, you have very small amount of people, and whatever they talk, whatever they do may not be very clear or may not spread very fast. But if we have the base people, which is a very big base, maybe 200 people, 500 people, thousands of people there, if they start speaking something, that is something which spreads the message in a much wider manner. So now if I go back to my corporate image building program, or if I tell you what is corporate image building program, number one, every human beings, every person, every household requires a reputation, an image in the mind of the people they fall for. Now, this image building, when we put it for the companies, for the bigger corporate houses, for the industries, for bigger groups, we call it corporate image building or corporate public relations. And if we have to do this, there are certain things I told you we have to keep in mind. We have to keep in mind the people who we have to get in touch with. We have to have a thorough knowledge of the company which we are trying to project. We should know about the product, we should know about the people, we should know about the policies, we should know about the marketing, we should know about how the product is accepted in the people's houses. What do the people feel about the product, the produce? That is both the negative and the positive side. More you know, better you can plan out your corporate image building. Then I talked about something else, that consciously or unconsciously, but many of the companies have to consciously do it, because unconsciously very few industrialists feel, or very few corporations feel, that we have a social responsibility. But consciously you have to get into social responsibility. That is, you have to make your company follow the rules made by the nation for betterment of the society. The nation's programs, policies are your responsibility also. Like Swachhata Abhiyan, I was telling you, as a good this thing, it's not only the responsibility of the government, it's a nice program, and each one of us, each one of the corporate houses require that they do it around them. If everybody starts becoming social conscious or takes social responsibility, the project gets through, and the government people also feel this company is doing a good job on this. So you become a social corporate leader also. Many cases are there. This is not only Swachhata Abhiyan, because the latest I was mentioning it. There can be so many things. You can create a school in the area, you can create a hospital in the area, you can provide free medical aids, and so many things can be done. You can even plant trees. There is a big environmental factor going on. You can think of, no, my refuse of the factory will not go into any of the places where it can harm the people. I am a social conscious person, so my refuse will have to find a way where it can be dumped into some place where it does not harm the environment. My chimneys won't throw out the smoke to harm the people. So these are small little corporate, like even at the lowest level in the what you call agriculture world, you say that I'm not going to use more than 10% of the chemicals in the product, otherwise they will harm the people. That is, everywhere there's a scope. So your image, if you are not doing something, maybe initially starting people might say, my God, bada apne aap ko samajhta hai, he's trying to become a leader. No. Gradually over the time, when you go on into your field, you will find, yes, people around you feel that yes, you are a social conscious person and you have a reputation. There are people who have negative reputations, there are people who have positive reputation, and today's world, one does require not only a positive reputation, positive image, positive PR for a company, individual, but also for a country. World over, some sort of positive corporate image needs to be projected about your own country also. So I feel that this is one topic which requires a lot of thinking over, and those people who have not yet thought about it need to do it to create a positivity in their product. This will give them more profits, because ultimately with good reputation they will be able to sell their product well. People will have better acceptance of whatever they are doing, and because of that their product will be sold better and they'll be able to earn better profits. So corporate image building is something which is getting popular day by day, especially in our country. I find at various stages people have started realizing corporate PR.
With this note, we would like to thank Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar for giving us a vivacious session on corporate PR. And dear friends, we believe that you might have a number of questions to be asked. So on your behalf, I would like to ask some questions from ma'am, so that the queries of the entire student community is solved out over here. So ma'am, we are talking about corporate PR in detail, and we have conducted sessions on PR in the previous classes also, and we have discussed what PR is. Now, if we talk about the PR, then we would say that public relations has become an important ingredient of everybody's life.
Yes.
But when we are talking about the company which in some way or the another is making profit. So any company which is making profit, then it becomes the liability of the company to think about the employees as well as the people the company is serving. So in that case, when we are considering corporate social responsibility, so should every company develop a guideline so that she could fill up the criteria of corporate social responsibility?
I think you are absolutely right. All companies need in today's world to create, when they are making a policy guidelines for themselves, when they are deciding about what is their planning, even at the planning stage, they should plan out that this is going to be our corporate social responsibility. We are also, in addition to doing our own work, will do so much and provide a budget for that. And it's not very difficult to provide a little budget for that. Companies do provide a very big budget on advertising. They can cut down a little bit on advertising and diversify it into corporate image building program. Though advertising also is a part of corporate image building, but that can be sort of diversified a little bit. And there's so many other funds which could be diversified for corporate image building. Today's world, without image, without a particular reputation, it's very difficult. You were mentioning about profit-making companies. Well, I would like to tell you, even the companies who are not making profit, if they start thinking in terms of some sort of social responsibilities, which may not cost very much, like planting trees, like creating a small little canteen, a clean canteen for the workers, providing cleaner atmosphere in the factories or in their offices. These don't cost money. This will give them a corporate PR, a emphasis on people to think good about them, their own employees to feel good about them. So I feel that it's not the profit. Gradually, even the companies which are just starting or which say that we don't make a profit, we are not in a profit zone, should think in terms that corporate PR is a part of the growth and development, and they do have a responsibility towards the country, towards the society in which they live, and they must do something about it.
Definitely, it is the responsibility of the company. And when we talk about the employees of the company, then I think the employees become the supreme people in the company who are to be taken care of. And when we talk about employees, then first of all, we should think about the families of the company, for example, employees of the company, so that if the employee feels, yes, my family is taken care of, now I should give my 100% to the company. I should work more and more so that I could lend a helping hand in development of the company. So should company continuously brings out plans so that the families of the employees could be taken care of?
Yeah, I think you're talking very, very good. Employees are your first charge. They are the people. Unless they are happy, unless they know that they are protected enough, their families are being looked after, the children are being looked after, you will never find them stable. You will always find them telling, ठीक है, अच्छी job है, पर क्या फायदा है? Like they have something negative to spread about the company. But if you give them positivity for the families, for the children, for the old age people around them, I can tell you one thing, that things move a big way in a company. Employees are actually very important. High time people started thinking about it, but very unfortunate that most of the companies I see that they look after advertisements, they look after outdoors, but internal public is not being looked after very well. People don't realize that they are human beings. People don't realize they need proper working hours, they need proper attention, they need proper talking. Even if you can talk nicely with them, use better language with them. If you are there to drink clean water, why should you not give them clean water to drink? I mean, what's wrong about these little things is just a thought. A time has come when the owners, the investors should think that it is not easy only to have an industry push forward, maybe a small office push forward, unless you look after it. I'll give you a small example of a roadside shop. You see number of them in India, so this is a very common feature. In the roadside shop, you find little boys and girls working as helpers. Now, how badly they are treated. Don't even give them a full proper meal. Give them a proper meal. In hotel industry, I understand they give you a full meal before they ask you to go for duty, so that you are a satisfied person. I mean, these are very small things you can notice all over. What will a person do if a person is not happy? So time has come that when unions, union activities, all these are taken as a part of corporate image building. Not that they are to somebody separate and we should keep out of them. They are going to be troubleshooters. All they are not. They are human beings who are part of your company, and they can provide so much for you. All you have to do is to pay a little attention as a part of your social responsibility and see the wonders they can create for you. The amount of publicity, one ad might cost you ₹1,00,000, but 10 workers talking about you will not cost you so much if they talk so good about you in their own circles, in their own community. So it's a matter of just thinking. High time that this concept of corporate image building, corporate communication, corporate PR came into the lives of people, and people realized that we need to go into the PR world. And corporate social responsibility is now becoming a fashion, to be very frank. It needs to be a part of you, not as a fashion, not as a show off, but it should be a part of all industries, all shops, all establishments, that they should think of something they can do apart from what they are doing for their own profit.
Yes, you have raised a very important point over here, that corporate social responsibility should not be the point of show-offs, because we have seen number of times that the companies are using CSR as their promotion tool.
Exactly.
That if they perform certain duty or if they conduct certain event for the benefit of the people in some way or the another, they will get the benefit. So apart from benefit, the company should take into mind that morally and ethically, the company needs to perform a duty so that the welfare of the society and the people living in the society could be done.
Recently, I was attending a seminar, and in that seminar I liked the way somebody said, It should not be called corporate social responsibility. It should be social responsibility of a corporate. It should be reversed out. It's not a corporate social responsibility that is a corporate you have to do it. No, it's your social responsibility of corporate. It should reverse out itself. So time has come that corporates realize that social responsibilities are something they have to do. They have to shell out something for that and do it willingly as a part of their, thinking that they are also living in this world and they need to do something for everybody. Not that show off, as you rightly put it, that now most of the people do it as a show off of a personal reasons for getting a little mileage over a minister or over a,
In fact, we would say that it's a promotion tool.
Yes.
It has emerged out as a promotion tool these days.
It is a promotion tool, but time has come when this should be one of the major things insisted upon by the corporate PR people, that before they start this, they say this, you have to do this. In corporate PR program, they should add it as their priorities. A time has come for that. And I feel people are realizing gradually things will improve. Let's see how things work.
Definitely. And through the corporate social responsibility, when something is done, for example, an event is conducted, the authorities of the company also get a chance to contact with the public and seek out their problems and find the solutions to the problems. So we believe that this kind of activities definitely helps out the public also to get in direct contact with the company and the employees.
It's a very big thing. Like if the chairman invites the whole lot of people for a Diwali function and comes and meets them, it's a very great thing. It's something very great. He gets in touch with the people. People talk so much about him all over. And not only that, he gets the feedback, how the things are happening, how the employees are. But it hardly happens. The top people hardly get mixed up with the people at the base level. That is the reason I said the time has come when we upside down the pyramid. Take the base people as the most important people in corporate image building and start working on that angle more than only projecting out the top people, making them sit in corporate discussions or televisions or in meetings or sending them for, some high up conferences. A time has come when the people down below needs to given these opportunities, training opportunities, so that they also feel, yes, this is what is our organization, they are doing something for us. So corporate image building budget needs to have a special provision, as you rightly say, for the commoners, not only for the special ones at the top.
Ma'am, as we have very less time left over here, but there is a question, or I would say this is a kind of a suggestion from my side, that there should be an open forum within the companies. As we said, that the chairman of the company talk to the employees of the company. So in such a way, the employees will get an open platform where they will have a chance to expose or to tell their problems, what they feel about.
That is exactly what we call image building program, and you've really hit it. We expect that employees should have that sort of confidence that my job will not go if I speak like this, and that confidence and that trust is what we call built by the corporate PR gentlemen. And that is the reason you call people in small groups, interact with them, tell them, "Bache, it's your company now, come on, you speak out, whatever you want to say. I would like to hear your impressions. Can we not improve our product? How can we improve it? If you were the chairman, how would you improve?" Once I give you this sort of confidence of interacting, you will find tons of suggestions coming in, and it will help the company go up very fast. Because we work only with 10 brains, we don't work with 200 brains at all. And what you say has a very, very positive point. And that is the reason we require now trained PR people to get in, not just that you are a good spokesperson or you are a good interactor, you have done some course and you get appointed as a PR. We require trained people. This subject needs to be more grilled into the minds of the people. into the students. I feel it should be a part of the course study at the graduation level so that people can know what is PR, so that they can do PR with it. There will be less fights also. I think there will be less jagde that you see around if we have a proper understanding.
Definitely, we'll have a proper understanding also, as well as the employees of the company will become more and more accountable when they are given more and more of chance to say what they want to say. And as PR person's responsibility is very, very crucial, as Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar explained over here. So PR person is the voice of thousands. So the PR person should take into account that none of the voice left unheard. So we have heard a lot from Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar today, and we had a very, very vivacious session where we discussed what corporate PR is and why it is very, very essential. Dear friends, we would like you to study more about corporate PR and watch the lecture, which we are going to upload on YouTube very soon for you. So watch the lecture, and afterwards, if you feel that there is a question which is unsolved, do write to us at info.cec@nic.in. We would definitely help you out in giving answers to your questions when next time Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar visits our studio. So with this note, I would like to thank Mrs. Nirmal Bhatnagar once again for her precious inputs to the lecture. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for calling me. Thanks a lot.